ADHD paralysis. So, how do you turn it into movement? How do you turn it into decision making? This is for families and teenagers who have ever felt completely frozen, stuck, uh, overwhelmed, and kind of unable to make the next step, do the next thing that you know you should do, um, but you don't. You seem to not be able to. So here is this image of a person looking at about a cajillion types of cereal, and you're at the supermarket and you probably don't have all the time in the world to decide what kind of cereal you want to eat, and yet you have so many choices, or you are experiencing fog, mental fog. So you find yourself at this place where you're stuck, you're unable to pick out what to do first, and time is passing by, the anxiety is kind of building up, you're getting frustrated. So if you have a teenager with ADHD, or you suspect that you yourself might struggle with attention, executive functioning, then please know that this is not procrastination. It is paralysis. It is a kind of cognitive paralysis. So in this video, we're going to quickly unpack the different types of cognitive paralysis. We're going to look at how it happens in ADHD brains, and then we're going to look at practical strategies for you and your teenager. In the background is a visual painting, Matisse-style painting of a brain in the cold. It's a frozen brain. I ChatGPT generated this image and I'm actually quite fond of it. I think it really represents paralysis really well. Who am I? My name is Dominique Paloma Bible. I have my master's in education. I've been working in the education field for 15 years now, since 2010. I am also the founder of Off the Beaten Path Learning. We have 5 stars on Google, and we've been around since 2020, so that's 5 years now. We provide one-on-one education for neurodivergent teens. So yeah, in this video, the types of paralysis we're looking at: mental paralysis, task paralysis, decision paralysis, and analysis paralysis. You may have heard one of these terms, you may have heard them all. Some of them mean different things, some of them have overlapping meanings. So let's get into it. There's mental paralysis, which is when your ability to think is clouded, it is tangled, it is just not at its usual capacity. So this could include brain fog, this could include being a sensory overload, being overloaded with sensory information, when your parietal lobe is basically like capped and cannot take any more sensory information. You're overstimulated, you're overwhelmed, you're burnt out, you're too stressed, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, your cortisol is telling you, like, stop thinking, stop deciding, stop. And you just shut down at that point. So that is when it is difficult to determine basically anything. Then there's task paralysis. Task paralysis has to do with task initiation, which is a executive functioning skill that allows you to start doing something, start a task, a new task. And that can be really tough because the first time you do something is always the hardest. And so the first time you take any step toward a goal, the same thing applies. Like, it's going to be more difficult. And for someone that has a focus, a different way of focusing, where it's kind of all or nothing sometimes, starting something, especially something that you're not interested in or something that you're overwhelmed by, it can be close to impossible. So when you want to start doing something like cleaning your room or starting homework or answering emails, but you can't even get started because your brain is freezing or it just keeps going everywhere. If the question is, what do I do first? If that's what's stopping you, that's task paralysis. Then there's decision paralysis, choice paralysis, analysis paralysis. This is all the same definition, and it has to do with the actual decision, right? So the first one, mental, is about just the ability to think generally. Then there's task paralysis, the ability to start something when that is impeded somehow, when the process is interrupted and you feel stuck. You can't even decide where to begin. And then there's the next level, right? Decision choice analysis paralysis, where deciding on making a choice on making a commitment to something feels like, whoa there, buddy, slow down, Buster. Either I don't have enough information, I don't have enough clarity, I don't have enough interest. I'm just not about it. Your brain is saying, I don't want to make this choice right now. And that can have to do with overwhelm or stress, but not always. It can also be fear related. It can be a lot of things. This is an image off Reddit. True story. I feel your pain. It's like I get on the computer and I remember that I forgot to pay my bills. Then my phone does a thing, so I look at that. Then my dog needs to go to the bathroom. Then I notice the pile of laundry that needs to be folded. Wait, what was I supposed to be doing? And somebody commented to that, replied to that, and said, yeah, me too, easily distracted, even when I'm on my meds. Even when I'm on my meds. This means that even medicated, you may be better, you may be in treatment, you may be improving, managing a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that you're not thinking and feeling and functioning in the world the way that is your way, which may be an ADHD way. And so I think it's not just about medication, it's about putting in place those habits, which are backed with information and belief. I'm going to say that again. Putting in place the actionable habits that are backed by information and belief. So knowledge, information like we're learning right now, and the belief that you can, the self-efficacy, the confidence, the faith in yourself, right? What is confidence if not confiança, con fé, with faith in yourself? So when you're saying I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and you're going round and round in your head or nowhere, right? You're completely frozen. Notice your attention is drifting. Notice the difficulty of picking where to begin. Notice the emotional weight of I should be doing whatever it is, but I don't know how or which one to do. For many families and many people, this is a daily reality where the teen might freeze or get stuck, the parent might try to intervene, the task will grow and grow, the room gets messier, the dishes in the sink are still not done, the stress is rising. So what do you do? What can you do? So let's first talk about adults, and then we'll go into what teenagers can do. And by the way, if these work they're not like strictly for adults or for teenagers. I think they can both work for both audiences and they can be interchangeable. But there is intentionality to why I separated them, so I'll talk about that a little bit. For adults, number one, do the closest thing or the first thing. So, for example, I'm looking at this table around me. If I had to get it together and go upstairs and like clean up and move where I'm located, I would do the first thing, which is the closest thing to me, I should say, which is this notebook. It's physically, spatially, it's the closest thing to me, or in terms of time, right? It's the first thing that I can think of, the first thing that's on my list. Teenagers, what can you do? What can you do if you are experiencing some kind of paralysis? Similar to the adult, do the quickest thing, not necessarily what's close or first on your list, but what's fast. This can be sometimes tricky to know. If you're not sure how long it will take, then it's not the quickest thing. Hello. But if you know, for example, that the dishes will take you 15 to 20 minutes and everything else on your list feels like it might take an hour to 1,000 years, then the dishes are probably a good place to just take some action and get in the flow. Body doubling. This is kind of another version of delegate and get support. This is when you are doing something, someone else is doing something, and you're both doing what you need to at the same exact time and holding space for each other. So how does this work? What is body doubling? What are you talking about, Dominique? If you're in the same room, if you're in the same physical space, this can mean I'm studying on my laptop and you are writing your paper on your laptop. This can mean I'm watching something on my phone, on my headphones, I'm watching a YouTube video, and you are, Netflix watching on your headphones. Body doubling works really well because the visual of another person working is a really clear sign to you that you are still in that mode. And so it is kind of like forcing your attention to stay in that mode of we're doing this thing. I will say it can get tricky if the other person gets distracted and so do you, and then all of a sudden you're having a conversation and gossiping and like who did what when. That's not helpful. And so part of body doubling, I think, is naming from the beginning that we're doing this or this style of work. We're being productive. We're working on school. We're working on whatever. And that if either of us gets lost in the sauce, that either or both of us can bring us back to what we're doing, to the point. Number 3, put out the biggest fire. What does this mean? Whatever is your biggest problem, the thing that's weighing on you the most, whatever is the issue that's taking up the most of your mental capacity, whatever is the thing that you're like, damn, if I just got that one thing done, I would feel like I was light years ahead. That is your biggest point of leverage. That is your, in business, it's sometimes called a bottleneck. That is your most pressing issue. It's kind of like the MVP of all the tasks you could do. So that's the one you do. Okay, so one-on-one education is what we do. Off the Beaten Path Learning, if you would like some extra support managing your teenagers or your own ADHD, reach out to Off the Beaten Path Learning at offdabeatenpath.com. Here are some photos of me with learners virtually, me with learners in person. Look at us smiling. Oh, the artwork, lovely. I appreciate everyone. All the learners are so wonderful, and it's such an honor to work with all of the learners and all of the families. So do reach out. This QR code here will send you to a scheduling page, and you can book a call, 30 minutes, completely for free, to discuss your needs and if Off the Beaten Path could be a support for you and your family. Okay, wonderful. I hope this video has helped you with what to do and how to understand ADHD paralysis.